favorite things. And so I think for our companies, for our higher education institutions, for our governmental entities and our NGOs, how can we support more incredible stories like these?
Heather, I'll throw that over to you.
Yeah, thanks for asking that, Kristen. You know, we have incredible young people like Saniia and Mayyadah all over the country. We picked these two because of their storytelling and just how they can share their perspectives. But there are young people like this all over the country that are ready to jump in and do this work in their communities with their 4-H program and with other community organizations across the area. And what we really need is support to help scale this program. As you saw from Andrea, we've got about 50 youth groups that have come through from across the country. Our goal is really to hit 1,000 by 2025 and create a groundswell of support across the country for this. We know at the national level, we can provide great resources and trainings, as Mayyadah spoke to some of those guidelines and incredible infrastructure for it, but we really want to empower more of these young people across the country. And so we welcome more partners to help us do that.
And one thing I just piggyback on, opportunities like this, Kristen, when we're able to tell people our story and have our youth come and present at opportunities like this, we definitely welcome these type of opportunities as well.
I love that so much. And I'm curious from our youth leaders, you know, what, as you're thinking about the industry, what changes do you think we should be pushing for those of us who are older and in places in our careers where we maybe have the opportunity to make change? What change are you hoping to see by the time you get to these seats?
I think like on a larger scale, as was mentioned, just that youth voice piece, just making sure that that's more involved in everything. And I think on the like more specific level, I know I mentioned a couple of things, but you know, sharing pronouns, it's such an easy thing to do when you come into a meeting and just share your pronouns to make sure that everyone's comfortable. And also just being aware of different gender identities and coming in with an open mind, I guess.
Okay. I feel like definitely when at a level like that, like as adults and working and everything, it would be nice to see like different people around the table, but also being able to know that when I get there, or that for people that are there right now as adults already working, that they don't have the responsibility of educating their peers or educating their coworkers. For everyone to really take the responsibilities in order to educate themselves and like understand each other better, so that no one has that responsibility, so that you guys just get a chance to work together and work efficiently and enjoy your job, so you're not worried about constantly teaching one about the other and educating each other and making sure things aren't happening that are offensive or stuff like that. And I feel like that would really help, and I would love to see that when I get to that level.
You're sharing many of the themes of this conference, so I hope that we've made some good progress by the time you guys are in any of our seats. Heather and Andrea, how do people learn more about how to support this program specifically? Is there a place where people can get engaged?
Absolutely. I'll put my contact information in the chat, Kristen. And also I saw some of the great comments in there about sharing these stories on our social media. We absolutely do that. We just had our True Leaders in Equity training last week, and we have our Dolphin Tank, the friendlier version of Shark Tank, coming up on October 9th. And we'll be sharing out a lot of the young people's projects and their stories in the coming year that will be coming up, and we'll be putting those on our social media as well. Absolutely. We love sharing these stories. And Mayyadah was actually a feature in an NBC story. Was it just last year, Mayyadah? It feels like it flew by, maybe the year before.
Yeah, I think it was 2019.
Yeah, so we even try to use as many media channels as possible to shout from the rooftops these incredible young people and what they're doing in their community.
I love that. There is a question in the Q&A. How do you see the True Leaders in Equity program growing in the future?
Yeah, so there's two ways that we're looking to grow the program. We're looking to make the summit even bigger. Oh, good. Thank you, Zach, for putting Mayyadah's story in the chat there. We're looking to make the summit even bigger so we can invite even more young people from across the country. Sometimes they're able to come on their own. Other times they require scholarships to help ensure that we've got absolute representation and that any of the might be coming from an underserved market can also attend, so that registration fees and travel costs and things like that are not barriers to entry. So we're certainly looking to make the summit bigger and even more exciting with bigger speakers. The other thing we are looking to do, as part of the Dolphin Tank, we provide these young people with seed grants so that they have funding to go back out into their community and help jumpstart their projects. So when they get out there, we want to make sure that they've got funding for that as well. So we're looking for those that can help us tell their story. I saw Russell in the chat helping to share these stories out across the TWG social strategy. That's terrific. We also do look for funding support to help grow the program at the National Summit in our local communities.
I love that. I think the community efforts that you all are leading are so impactful. And I particularly loved hearing how you've been able to scale them and grow them, that it's given you so much opportunity to start somewhere and then continue to make it bigger and bigger. Well, I know that Heather's put her contact information in the chat, and I know that this is the sweet spot of where many of our corporate partners are hoping to continue to see investment. So this is a great opportunity, I think, for people to get involved to support one of the biggest feeders of talent and brilliant minds into our industry that we have. So thank you for joining us. Do you guys have any parting thoughts or anything that you would like to leave us with?
The only other piece I would add that I should have mentioned earlier, Kristen, as I was thinking about our social media strategy, one element that we are also growing as part of this program, as we think about how we tell these young people's stories, is a platform called What I Wish You Knew. And it is highlighting their voice and their ability in a few minutes in a snippet to tell the broad public, a lot of times adults, certainly their peers as well, what you wish they knew. And we feel like this helps bring voice to their stories and their platforms. So that's one element I didn't want to forget, because that's an important key as to how we tell their stories.
Oh, I love that, Heather. Are there any themes that have come out of that series so far?
We've got just a couple, but I think a lot of it is around support for social emotional support. I know Mayyadah spoke to the importance of recognizing LGBTQ and their pronouns and what a difference that makes, because LGBTQ youth are, is it twice as likely to commit suicide, Mayyadah? Did I have that fact correct? I don't want to misspeak. And so having these young people seen and heard is really a valuable and important piece. And so we think, again, this platform helps do that at a national scale where we can have big, broad impact. But we also hope to see that amplified at the local level, because we know that's really important for our kids.
I love that. Seen, heard, and celebrated is something that I think has been a theme throughout this conference. And then I also saw Dr. Ogla-Bolden-Tiller said, please keep dancing, because we need you to keep dancing and come keep dancing with us. So thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.